The story begins deep in the African desert, where three geologists are working on a routine mission. Their job is simple: search for diamonds and study ancient rocks. But one day, their radar picks up something unusual beneath the ground. It looks like a volcanic pipe, something that could potentially hold great value. Curious and excited, they head straight to the location. When they arrive, they find a large mound of dirt. Believing there might be treasure hidden inside, they break it open without hesitation. But instead of diamonds, something far more terrifying emerges. A strange and horrifying entity comes out from beneath the ground, and within moments, all three geologists are brutally killed. Before the main story even begins, the desert has already claimed its first victims. The scene then shifts to a man named Jack. He is highly skilled in both technology and geology, known for his sharp mind and innovative ideas. Jack has even built a small radar device that can detect body heat and alert him to possible natural disasters. One day, his boss approaches him with an urgent task. Three geologists have gone missing in Africa, and there has been no communication from them. Jack is assigned to find out what happened. Without wasting time, he prepares for the journey. The next morning, he packs his radar device and boards a flight to Africa, ready to face whatever lies ahead. After a long and exhausting trip, he finally arrives in the vast desert. There, he is greeted by a man named Carol, who takes him to the base camp. At the camp, Jack meets the rest of the team: Carol, Mickey, Kurt, Titus, Magda, and their leader, Jan. Jan makes one thing very clear: he will not be joining the mission. His responsibility is to stay behind and manage the camp. The rest of the team prepares quickly, loading their vehicle with food, fuel, and weapons before setting out into the desert to search for the missing geologists. After hours of searching, they finally locate the geologists' abandoned car. But the men themselves are nowhere to be found. Instead, what they discover sends chills down their spine. All that remains of the three geologists are their bones. Every piece of flesh has been completely stripped away. What makes it even more horrifying is the time frame. This entire process happened in just 6 hours. No known animal could consume a human body that quickly. As they try to process what they're seeing, they notice something else nearby: a strange object that looks like a statue shaped like an ant's face. Fear begins to creep into their minds, but most of them try to rationalize it, assuming some unknown desert predator is responsible. As night falls, exhaustion takes over, and the group settles down to rest. But Jack can't sleep. Restless, he climbs a nearby sandhill and starts sandboarding to pass the time. After a while, Mickey joins him. She admits she can't sleep either, and the two begin talking. Their conversation is light and friendly, and it's clear that Jack has feelings for her, even though he keeps them to himself. Eventually, Mickey grows tired and heads back to rest, leaving Jack alone in the quiet desert. That's when his radar suddenly starts beeping. Something large is approaching fast. Jack turns and notices a strange shadow moving across the sand, heading directly toward him. Alarmed, he shouts, waking the others. Everyone rushes to the spot, but by the time they arrive, there is nothing there. The mysterious presence has vanished without a trace. But the night isn't over yet. By morning, they realize something even more disturbing. The bones of the geologists are gone. Completely gone, as if they were never there. Carol immediately suspects Jack and accuses him of stealing them, but Jack denies it. He has no idea what is happening. Just then, the radar beeps again. Something is still out there. Carol suggests they chase it immediately, but Magda stops them, warning that chasing an unknown threat in the dark is too dangerous. They decide to wait until morning. When daylight finally arrives and the fog begins to clear, they see something in the distance. A figure stands there, human in shape, but completely black, unnatural, and terrifying. Without hesitation, Kurt fires his gun. In the blink of an eye, the creature disappears. When they reach the spot where it stood, they find something impossible. The missing bones have returned. The same bones that vanished during the night are now lying there again. Confusion turns into fear. Nothing makes sense anymore. That's when Titus finally speaks up. He has been hiding something, and now he can't stay silent any longer. He begins to tell an ancient story from his village, a legend about something called Isolu. Isolu is not just a single creature. It is an entire swarm, a colony of flesh-eating ants. These creatures devour human flesh within hours, leaving nothing behind. And then, they do something even more terrifying. They use the bones of their victims as a disguise. Titus explains the horrifying truth behind Isolu. It is not a single creature, but a massive swarm of flesh-eating ants working together as one. By using human bones as a disguise, they create the illusion of a single moving being. At the center of this swarm is a queen, the true brain behind everything. All the ants follow her commands, and the flesh they consume is fed directly to her. Titus recalls a childhood memory that still haunts him. He once saw a boy in his village reduced to nothing but bones, completely stripped of flesh. What they are seeing now is exactly the same. For him, there is no doubt, this is Isolu. But the others refuse to believe him. Some dismiss it as a myth, while others think a mad human is responsible. Titus says nothing more, but fear is clearly written across his face. Suddenly, their situation gets worse. Their vehicle breaks down without warning. The engine dies, and the radio loses all signal. Now they are completely stranded in the middle of the desert with no way to call for help. Their only hope is a patrol vehicle that occasionally passes through the area. With no other option, they decide to stay put and wait. That night, they take turns keeping watch. Titus stays awake while Kurt sleeps inside his sleeping bag. In the darkness, Titus senses something moving nearby. He tries to wake Kurt, but when he opens the sleeping bag, he is met with a nightmare. Kurt is still alive, but Isolu is already inside him, eating him from within. Titus screams for help, but before he can react, the creature grabs his hand and crushes it brutally. The others rush in and pull him away. Mickey, Magda, and Jack drag Titus to the car, while Carol tries to fight Isolu with whatever he has. But it is useless. The swarm moves as one, and bullets have no effect on it. Thinking quickly, Jack throws gasoline near the car. The flames force Isolu to retreat for a moment. But it doesn't give up. It comes back again, stronger and more aggressive. Jack steps out to throw more gasoline, with Carol backing him up. That's when they witness something terrifying. Isolu begins assembling human bones into a full human shape. Now, the truth is undeniable. Titus was right all along. Carol raises his gun again, but Jack stops him, reminding him that bullets won't work. They need a different strategy. For now, Isolu disappears back into the desert. But everyone knows it hasn't left. It's just waiting for the right moment to strike again. Meanwhile, Titus's condition worsens rapidly. He is too weak to move. With no other choice, they come up with a risky plan. Magda will stay behind in the car with Titus, while Carol, Jack, and Mickey will walk back to the camp and bring another vehicle for rescue. The next morning, the three set out on foot, carrying the little gasoline they have left. But their journey quickly turns worse when a powerful sandstorm hits them. The wind is so strong they can barely stand. They huddle together, trying to survive as the storm rages around them. When it finally passes, they realize the damage. Jack's radar is broken, and their remaining gasoline has been blown away. Now, they are almost completely defenseless. That night, as they try to rest, Isolu returns. But this time, it looks different. Its form now resembles Magda. In that moment, they understand the truth. Isolu has already reached the car. Magda and Titus are dead, and their bones have become part of the swarm. Without hesitation, Carol throws their last bit of gasoline at the creature, forcing it to retreat once again. They survive, but now they have nothing left to fight with. The next morning, they hear a faint radio signal. Following it, they discover the abandoned car of the missing geologists. The radio is still working. For the first time in days, they manage to contact the camp and call for help, giving them a small sense of hope. Nearby, they notice a large mound of dirt with a dark tunnel leading inside. When they explore it, they find a massive, empty ant nest. Jack immediately understands everything. This was Isolu's original home. When the geologists broke open the mound, they destroyed the nest, triggering the swarm's revenge. Now, Isolu is searching for a new home and killing anyone in its path. At that moment, Jan arrives from the camp, but instead of relief, he is furious. He accuses them of killing their teammates and refuses to listen to their explanation. He ties their hands and forces them into the car, determined to take them back. On the way, Carol sees an opportunity. He attacks Jan and knocks him unconscious. They free themselves and tie Jan up instead. Mickey believes they should head straight back to camp, but Carol and Jack disagree. They know the truth now. If they don't destroy Isolu's new nest, more innocent people will die. Not far from where they stood, there was an abandoned mine. The group quickly realized this had to be Isolu's new home. Without wasting time, Carol grabbed an explosive liquid, and the three of them made a dangerous decision. They would go inside and end this once and for all. The mine was dark, silent, and filled with tension. Every step felt heavier than the last. Suddenly, without warning, Isolu attacked. It lunged straight at Carol, violently breaking his leg. He screamed in pain as Jack quickly stepped in, distracting the creature and giving them a chance to react. In the chaos, Isolu lost its balance and fell into a deep hole inside the mine. For a brief moment, it seemed like the nightmare was over. But that hope didn't last long. The creature reached out from the darkness, grabbed Carol's leg, and began pulling him down with it. Jack and Mickey held on to Carol with all their strength, trying desperately to save him. But Carol understood the situation instantly. If he didn't let go, all three of them would be dragged into the hole. There was only one way to end it. With a calm but heavy heart, Carol grabbed the explosive liquid, looked at his friends one last time, and let go. He fell into the darkness with Isolu, and seconds later, a massive explosion shook the entire mine. Carol was gone, but his sacrifice saved them. Shaken and heartbroken, Jack and Mickey tried to escape, but before they could leave, they saw something even more terrifying. The Ant Queen. She was the true leader, the mind controlling the entire swarm. Every movement of Isolu was guided by her. The remaining ants began attacking them aggressively. In that moment, Mickey realized the truth and shouted that if they killed the queen, everything would end. Jack didn't hesitate. With a knife in his hand, he charged forward and struck the queen. The moment she died, everything changed. One by one, the ants began to collapse. The swarm lost its control, and the nightmare finally came to an end. But the danger wasn't over yet. The explosion had destabilized the mine. The ground started shaking, and rocks began falling from above. With no time to waste, Jack and Mickey ran as fast as they could and barely managed to escape before the entire place collapsed. When they finally made it outside, they found Jan's lifeless body. Isolu had claimed him as well. The cost of survival had been too high. After everything that happened, only two people were left alive: Jack and Mickey. In the final moments, they are seen waiting quietly for a taxi. Jack decides to stay behind and continue working at the desert camp, choosing to face life where everything happened. Mickey, however, decides to leave, hoping for a fresh start somewhere far away from the horrors they experienced. Before she leaves, they share a silent moment. No words are needed. They look at each other and kiss. The taxi arrives and Mickey leaves. Jack stands alone, staring into the endless desert. The nightmare is finally over. Only life remains.